I was standing on one side of the Jeep just with the thermal
and then
monopod, and I heard what sounded like a giant tree come crashing down over there, and Tate was doing stuff in the car, so hopefully the audio recorder got it, but it was very loud. It kind of startled us in the moment, and it's up the road from where we are, so.
Florida, a vast land as far as...
Hello, I'm Tate Hieronymus. I am the creator of the Sasquatch: A Search for SABE series, and this is the Florida commentary.
Panthers, alligators, deer, and a variety of birds. But are those the only animals to reside in Florida? Or is there
So a little backstory on this. Alex was revisiting Florida. Alex Petticoff from Small Town Monsters. He came back to Florida to this area because he wanted to reinvestigate it. And so I only live like maybe a couple hours from this area. So naturally, he asked me if I wanted to join, and I said yes. And so we went back to the same area where I was with Alex and Eli in 2022, and we ended up getting some knocks, and I don't know if it's loud enough, but here it is. You can hear me talking about it a little bit, and you'll see what happens.
That I did a knock, and we had something respond back to us.
I heard that. Yeah. How did it sound? It sounded like a knock. It really did. It sounded very clear.
And this place is literally in the middle of nowhere. I say that, but like you can hear the highway when you're.
So I didn't really explain this that well. Where we were at, yeah, there's a highway, but to get where we're at, there's no easy access to this area, and you have to like get off this on-ramp and then drive like I don't know how many miles, 8, 9, 10 miles. Then you turn on a dirt road, then you go like maybe 5, 8 miles in, and then you go another backtracking towards the highway on a dirt road, maybe 12 miles, give or take. And it's is as much as you can hear the highway, there's no easy way in here. There's actually only one way in, so we didn't see anybody coming through the area when we were there, and so we just kind of went out to the spot again, and we are like, well, it's kind of about the right temperature and everything. It was when we were here in 2022, so let's just walk the road and see what we get, and maybe something will happen.
Having a little more activity than last year, earlier on, but
Yeah, no, I think it was just pretty quiet too that night. We heard that kind of a knock type thing, but I definitely think it was a lot darker then. Like right now, the sky kind of is illuminated. You know, you can see the Milky Way right above us practically. Whereas last year on that night, I think it was a cloudy
it might have been
night.
like
It was a cloudy night, so it was a lot darker.
yeah.
So we're really close to the spot we were last year when I did a knock here. So should we try to do the same thing in the same area?
I'm just gonna say I really hate myself without a beard. I don't like my face at all. God, it's so annoying.
For you guys at home, I'm gonna turn this IR light off, so it's gonna be completely dark. But I'm gonna have the camera rolling and the audio, so if we get anything, you'll hear it. So.
So for those who have seen the episode, we kind of went to this gentleman's place not too far. He has what's called the skunk. I forget the name of it. It's the skunk ape headquarters down in this area in Florida. And so we were talking to him, and he thinks there might be like maybe four of these things down in this part of Florida, and we're kind of like starting to agree with him maybe on that. But the other issue is it's like, if there's not four of them, there could be more. But the problem is with this area is unless you have like a swamp buggy or an airboat, you're not really getting into a lot of these places because a lot of them are underwater. There's very few spots in this part of Florida that you can walk on land at night like this. And Ocala is like the further north you go in Florida, the more places you can go and walk around. But this is just not one of them.
You do, sometimes you don't. It's always hit and miss.
And yeah, we're on like the only two main roads out there you can walk around. There is some trails. I would call them Jeep trails. You can kind of walk. Those are pretty good. There's some locked gates over there in this area. But this one was pretty cool because you walk pretty far back, and then it opens up into a prairie, and you can see for like ever. It's a good spot. It's definitely a spot I want to get back to, and maybe like camp out a couple nights. So we'll see if I can be able to do that. Should be able to. So kind of need to do something soon out there and see what's going on.
Let me know when you're ready, Alex. You ready? I don't think I'm ever ready for these, but... Crap. So quiet out here, we're not even hearing a bird after that call. Like, it is dead. Nothing.
So yeah, so we're not getting anything really with knocks or calls. It's dead quiet, as mentioned earlier. So I think our plan now is to walk out of here with lights on, and hopefully something just gets aggravated at us and just yells at us. I don't know. Just want something to happen. It's cold. Be worth it if something happens. We'll see.
It was a very unfortunate night. But with this topic of doing research like this, this is typically what happens. You get nothing. I can literally count on both of my hands how many times something has happened, and that's like actually under 10 times, and that's not a lot. But I need at least two hands because I have had things happen more than 5 times. But you don't really get too much out in the field, and you have to kind of be used to disappointment, I guess. So even though it's a bummer when nothing happens, it is disappointing. But again, like I said earlier, this is like a really inaccessible kind of place where we can get to. There's not a lot of areas where you can like just walk up on if you really want to. You can just walk. Well, if you really want to, you can walk like in the Everglades itself, and But
Probably just being more
it's just a very inaccessible type place, and that's really all to say about that. But no, it's just
Oh yeah.
when you can't get to these places, you know, you're very limited to where you can go and what you can do, and these creatures might be in some place where you can't reach them because of the fact that you can't get anywhere you want to here. But it is what it is in Florida, so pretty much it's just weird.
You said back there was the place where we possibly found a track last year, right?
Yeah, it was like in here. Somewhere in here.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. There's like this little trail off to this area, one of the only little trails, and like I was mentioning earlier, there's a couple of these trails, but we ended up finding this weird kind of looking footprint, probably human, but it was like a bear footprint, and there was a weird arch to it, but that doesn't mean anything, and so I can't remember if it's in the episode by Small Town Monsters or not, but I'll have to ask Alex about it. Maybe he'll provide some pictures for me that I could put in the notes, the show notes here.
Yeah, I mean, this county in general has the most reported sightings to the BFRO. Which, you know, people complain about the BFRO, but there are good individual researchers within that organization. And this just Collier County has the most in Florida.
Oh, by far. Yeah. From what I've seen.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
So this place coming up where Alex and I are going to be now, we ended up finding this place this past summer, and it's a pretty good area, and we recorded something, Alex recorded something pretty interesting,
but this expedition
and
to the Everglades is
it's
not
coming
over
up right here.
as they get ready for their second night, and things seemingly start to take a turn in their favor.
Alright, so I was standing on one side of the Jeep just with the thermal
And
on the
then
monopod,
what?
and I heard what sounded like a giant tree come crashing down over there, and Tate was doing stuff in the car, so hopefully the audio recorder got it, but it was very loud. It kind of startled us in the moment, and it's up the road from where we are. So what did you hear?
I heard the same thing. I heard but I was kind of shifting something, and I barely heard it.
You thought it was me?
I thought it was you. I really did.
It was loud, man, and there's no wind at all. Like, it's
Oh my god. Yeah, there was
It's a
not.
windless night.
So that was a very interesting thing. I was like in my car trying to get some stuff ready because we were going to go for a night walk, and I was digging around. Alex was like on the other side of my Jeep, and he was standing outside. Thankfully, he had like an audio recorder going on the back of the tire, like the back tire of the Jeep.
Different.
And
Thought we had heard something knock.
he was like, "Tate, did you hear that?" I'm like, "Dude, what?" I thought you were doing something to make that noise.
We both.
And then, but when he was telling me about it, and I thought about it more, it just kept like, "Dude, that was a crazy sound," because I did hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
And,
think of another way to substantiate any of this stuff.
It was just like the weirdest sound. It kind of reminds me of something like I heard in Iowa, but
Timing was kind of.
I don't know.
It's a wind.
It's weird because
Come down. Yeah, I suppose that absolutely.
Alex is like kind of saying how like the trees come down too, but it was a windless night. There is a lot of bears out there, so it's just one of those things.
Something was kind of rotted at that point, and it just decided to fall over.
Yeah, or a rotted tree. A rotted tree probably fell over or something
Another
like that.
possibility is
Either a
bears.
bear pushed
I
it.
know in Bluff Creek a few years back, I was camping there, and then Jamie from the Bluff Creek project came up to me. He's like, "Hey Tate, a bear pushed a tree down."
Yep, just
Which
a
they do
bear.
do that.
Yeah, it's not like they wouldn't physically be able to do that.
And yeah, and the bears and the prints we've been seeing here.
Bears
are massive
here.
There's some big.
There was some huge bear prints Alex and I were casting. It's funny because I didn't record any of the casting things that we were doing, but between me and Alex, like the 2 days that we were in this spot, we were probably casting at least 20 prints a piece, and that's just like mountain lion, bear, alligator.
That little bear.
I casted a pretty cool double bear print that was pretty cool to cast, and I was like, dude, I'm proud of this.
And the other thing is, if that's something like hypothetically something did push over a tree right now, we haven't heard it move. I mean, I don't know how far in that happened. Just kind of happened, you know.
That was the weird thing. Yeah, Alex is right. It just kind of happened, and we didn't hear anything like run through the brush because I think right here, yeah, the next day you're gonna see how thick it was in this area, and it was very impossible to find. So you're thinking like, how could something not make any noise running through this area? But I'll come back to that actually in a minute, because something else weird, like I guess not being able to hear something happened earlier or later on.
Monopod, so I was kind of facing this direction. Tate, go where you were. Stand exactly where you were.
Yeah, I was standing right here, but I had the door open and I was kind of inside the car.
He was kind of fidgeting with stuff, and then the audio recorder was right up here, and the sound of that tree crashing came from up in that direction over there. So I'd say we should head over there and kind of see if we can find anything, or just poke around the area a little bit.
Yeah. Trying to find that tree is going to be really difficult because there's so many down trees in this forest. It's going to be near impossible almost. And we're back in this area trying to look for tracks after something pushed over a tree last night, or the tree fell, one of the two. So we don't know what made the sound, so we're kind of out here investigating it to see what we can find. So hopefully we turn something up. Yeah, this area is just thick. It's up to my chest at this point, and I'm not exactly a short guy. I'm 5'11", and it was at least hitting my chest at that point. So, and trying to find a down tree in this is going to be virtually impossible. And so I think we kind of gave up trying to find it. I mean, we were going as far as we can, but man, this stuff was just thick. And that's what's weird. We didn't hear anything run off. But like I said, I'll get to that again. It's just odd that something doesn't make noise going through this. I find that so strange that something cannot make noise going through this, but deer can.
That's what I'm thinking. If it fell on its own, we didn't hear anything run off. So, because it's so thick, you would have heard it.
What caused a tree to fall only a few hundred yards from Alex and Tate? Was it a bear, tree rot, or was it the creature that they came here to look for, Sasquatch? Unfortunately, with the brush being so thick in the general area where the tree came down, trying to locate the tree is near impossible, and with very little they can do, Tate and Alex decide to head out to one last area for their final night.
So we're out here in a new spot, kind of seeing what we can hear and find. This is the thickest we've been in so far. Alex is scanning with a thermal. So yeah, we were car camping. No campfire because there's no like campfires here. But we were car camping in this area, like it was right off a Jeep trail. And going back to the deer thing that I wanted to bring up earlier, I can't remember if I had thermal video that I put in this episode or not, but we did. We were hearing movement around, and it was like it would be up in one spot of where we were camping at, and then it would be in another spot, but we never heard like whatever was making those sounds like kind of move through. But it turned out being a deer because that same deer was making just different spots until it crossed this road in front of us, and Alex caught it on the his thermal, He's like, dude, it's a deer. This deer is making all that noise, but it ended up like going from one area to another without us being able to hear it. And something thick like that, it's so strange. But it just goes to show you that if a deer can be that silent moving through the brush at night, then I have no reason to think an intellectual ape-like human could do the same. Plus, they blend in so well to their environment. Their hair is like a lot darker, so they're going to blend in even a little bit more than most animals. Bears are like pretty hard to see in the forest. Deer are super easy because they're such light colored, but I mean, I guess it just really depends on the area you're in. I mean, any animal can be hard to see if it's thick, but I guess yeah, you can hear the branch breaking there. That's the deer. I'll mute myself so you guys can kind of listen.
I don't see anything on thermal.
Mosquitoes were horrible this night. They were horrible creatures.
I mean, something was there. Clearly. I don't know what it is though. We're having movement over there. What's so weird is, how could it be so close to us if we wouldn't hear it moving up?
That's exactly the point I'm trying to make right there. Why can it be so close, but us not be able to hear it? Yeah, and as you can see, Alex is saying it's a deer, and it's just surprising how it's not being like exactly too quiet, but it's being silent enough to go undetected too in a thick area like this. Yeah, we're kind of coming down to the final minutes of our last night, and
Sadly, Tate
it was kind of disappointing, that we didn't get anything. It's a good area.
was in the area.
We've heard that one knock that we're pretty sure was a Sasquatch here in 2022.
Activity every time.
But man, it was just one of those times we just unfortunately didn't get anything. And like I said, it happens. But
Sound in the brush.
I ended up putting a trail camera out there in this area this past month or whatever. I think it was November. But
Something is
ended up recording some deer, lots of turkey, and I got a bear on it. So this is a good area that has a food source, and you got predators like bear, and there's obviously mountain lion here or the Florida panther.
always be.
But I definitely have plans to return to this area in the very near future. I cannot talk ever, but we'll see what the place has to offer some more. And yeah, but thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, have a great night.